So let's talk about Funko's biggest blunders. And it wouldn't be right if we didn't start with the biggest blunder of the entire year. And that was Funko's destruction of Fun Days. Totally destroyed Fun Days. One foul swoop, just crushed it, destroyed it. And there was so much buzz surrounding Fun Days and what happened at Fun Days. We talked about it for weeks, and we're still talking about it today.
About it.
Yeah.
So let's start with the fact that it was so cool to see all of those Fun Days pops being unboxed at Fun Days.
Oh my God, yeah. So the night that Fun Days was taking place, people were unboxing like what they were receiving in the boxes. There was the Megatron. I remember seeing that and losing my mind, the Freddy Funko Megatron. The Captain Americas, I'm losing my mind over that as well. I was seeing all these different things being unboxed, wondering how the hell am I going to obtain any of this?
Yes, and I would just like to note that we were personally invited to Fun Days that year, or this year.
Yeah. We actually got a phone call inviting us to go to Fun Days by the big Becker himself.
Yes, and nobody's going to believe that, but it happened.
It actually happened.
Anyway, back to our story. We got invited, and Chris was beating himself up all week long, but we just couldn't do it. We had, like, my dad was having his big cookout of the year that weekend, and on top of it, we had Max, who is Chris's son, my stepson, and it just would not be possible.
Nothing was lining up right with my job, with anything. Nothing was going to make this work out. And I was beating myself up more or less, not for what you got there, but because of the experience. And I wanted to go there just to experience Fun Days for the very first time, with the collectibles being a plus to the experience.
Yeah.
But we were unable to do any of it, and a lot of things happened there. And we can touch upon it a little bit. So the food apparently was terrible. We talked about that extensively.
People got food poisoning.
Yeah, so they were serving sort of like rancid food. I say sort of, because I don't know if it was rancid or not.
It wasn't rancid. It was not cooked thoroughly, and it was chicken sandwiches.
Yeah, so that was really bad. There were people who showed up and did not have a seat. And then they didn't end up getting a box of fun because it wasn't, it was like an overflow, which I would have been incredibly angry if that happened to me. I would have been so angry.
Well, yeah, especially because we would have to come all the way from the East Coast. Like, I was
100%.
trying to figure out how many days it would take us to drive there, because neither of us, like, go on airplanes either. So that's another
That was a whole other part of this experience, yeah.
But then when you saw those really incredible pieces, you were like, I knew we should have went. Well, yeah, I mean, I'm thinking, geez,
the only year that they announced, like, or have a Freddy Funko Captain America and Freddy Funko Megatron. I mean, those two specifically. The year before that, with the Freddy Funko as Optimus Prime, my head nearly exploded.
I know.
And then I see Megatron is there. And I'm thinking, how the hell do I obtain this? Yeah. And one of our friends out there who actually went to Fun Days, we set up a trade after the fact, after Fun Days was over, for a green NFT Power Ranger, the Green Ranger NFT. Grail, for the Megatron.
Yes.
And shortly after, we found out the problem. So the issue, which we haven't even touched upon if you're new to all of this, is that they released in mystery boxes at home the same exact Funko Pops, but with different limited edition stickers on them.
Yeah, it was literally the same exact pop. Yep. When what they should have done was had the metallic variant at Fun Days, but then had like for a lower piece count, and then had a regular version at home with the 2,000 piece count. But instead, it was literally the same exact pop with a different piece count sticker.
Yeah, I was looking around to see if I have it nearby, and I don't think I do, because I was going to show it if I had it nearby. I think
there's something that's Camp Fun Days, but I feel like that's not what you're looking for.
Oh, this is the 2,000 piece metallic Megatron.
Yeah, and they also had a 500 piece.
Yep, they had a 500 piece also. So the stickers were basically invalid. They weren't proper. So what we've never figured out is this 2,000, the entire number that includes the 500 of the same exact Funko Pop, or is it a combo number? So it would be 2,500 instead.
I think it's 2,500.
Who knows? I mean, at this point, we have no clue. In fact, I don't even know if the numbers are proper, like at all proper, because the boxes are showing up at the Buckeye Warehouse being sold now. Who knows? Who knows what happened with the numbers? The numbers are so screwed up. So Funko, over the years, has had this Fun Days event. That's where you go for the most special Freddy Funko Pops, like anywhere. Like, this is the only place you get these incredibly limited number pieces. As an example, our friend Jason Swoboda brought back an Ant-Man Freddy Funko years back for me that I think is like a 250 piece count. Right? So they were super limited numbers. Only the people who went to Fun Days had the option to buy these things. And here at home, we're getting the same exact Funko Pops that showed up in the boxes for those people who, one, flew out there, stayed there possibly in a hotel, and then also paid to get into Fun Days.
Yeah, which is absolute garbage. I mean, Fun Days in itself seems like a very fun event.
And Corey Feldman was there, and he was singing his ass off.
Okay, but can I just say that so was AJ from the Backstreet Boys, and I would have loved to see that. But anyway.
Are you being serious?
Yes.
You
I would have
that?
loved that.
Oof.
But
Okay.
Fun Days is a fun event. It gets all these different fanatics together, sitting at a table, meeting new people. Sometimes, you know, you're sitting with your friends or whatever. But it's not just what you get. You know, for me, it would be hanging out with a bunch of people, seeing the song and dance and everything, and just being there for the experience. The items are a bonus. However, when the items are the same exact thing that you could have gotten when you were at home, it's a little bit less exciting. There were a lot of people who actually went to the event who were disappointed over the sticker issue, which I would be too. Fun Days at home boxes, they started doing those, what, 2017 or 2018?
2018, I think.
I think it was 2018. So basically what they did that year was they streamed all of Fun Days. And they basically said, head over to Funko's website and you use this password and you can buy this for, I think it was $50.
It was the at-home box. Yeah,
yes.
At-home box.
And I don't think they specified what exactly it was. I just remember you going to the website, telling me to go to the website. We entered the password, and you were jumping up and down like a lunatic in our backyard because we were watching it in our backyard.
Yeah.
On a laptop. And you were like, what was that? I just ordered it. I don't know what it was. And then it turns out it was like the big lockers, and it was the year that the Freddy Funko as Pennywise showed up. And then there were the Dumb and Dumber ones.
Yeah.
Where
so
they were dressed in the
basically
suit.
started doing this at-home edition, and then they did the at-home edition again this year. But instead, this year, without having the at-home edition just being at home, they copied the same Funko Pop that's at the event.
For the most part,
so
yeah, it was
they screwed it
crazy.
up. They should have just stayed with the at-home edition Funko Pop, at-home edition box, totally different items, but instead they let it bleed over and use the same mold over and the same, and just they changed up the numbers on the sticker. It's so stupid. So that is a huge blunder. That whole situation is a huge blunder. I think it turned off a lot of fans. I think it turned off a lot of older fans because
it did.
Heather and I, we would discuss a lot of things that Funko had been doing, and a lot of what they have been doing was sort of like, what's going on? And a lot of the older fans that we knew were like, oh, it's Funko. We love Funko. You know, things happen. They've done a lot of weird things over the years. You know, whatever. And then when this happened, they were totally changed. It was no longer like them trying to answer for what Funko's doing. Like, oh, it's just Funko being Funko. It was like, it's something you just don't do.
Yeah.
So they totally screwed up big time. And I really have a hard time believing that Funko would be able to get up and continue running like they were before with the old fans. Now, I would imagine, you know, old fans are going to stick around. You still got them. But it's hard for the old fans to understand how Funko is, you know, how they got to where they are today versus where they were before. Because where they were before was all about the collectors. Now they totally screwed up. So that is probably the biggest blunder of the year.
Yeah.
One that really, I think, set the tone for the rest of the year. Because after that happened, the rest of this year hasn't been good.
No.
Like, nothing good has happened. No. But that's not the only blunder of this year. There were several others, and one other big blunder happened at the warehouse. So Funko decided to build a large warehouse in a place called Buckeye, Arizona. And the idea was to sell on a very particular day a bunch of overflow pieces or Funko Pops and sodas and everything else. And so they basically told people on this day at this time, I think it was a whole weekend if I remember correctly, but this weekend, these are the times, come there, it'll be a big Funko sale. The blunder there was what?
They sold a 999 piece Funko NFT Grail for $15, and those pieces are supposed to be only for people who obtain those redeemable NFTs from digital.funko.com.
Yeah, so basically you have a token from an NFT, you turn it in, you redeem it through Funko, and then you get a physical piece in return. So it's not all digital, there is a physical side to it, which is what got a lot of collectors involved, including us. We were super stoked over this. That's pretty cool. This is a totally different ballgame. At first we were not sold, but over the course of time, we thought, this is kind of neat, it's different.
Yeah.
Kind of like this, not bad. And things have taken a really drastic turn on that front as well. We won't go there just yet. But the blunder that happened at the warehouse was this Leonardo thermal Funko Pop, where he's like multicolor, almost like a rainbow, being sold to somebody at $15. And apparently multiples of this Funko Pop were sold.
Yes, and they ended up on like OfferUp or Craigslist or something. I don't remember, but a person had like a bunch of them, and they were selling them for what, like $400 or $600 or something, just
something
to like get them out the door.
But
really
it was
fast.
instant. It wasn't like it waited like 2 weeks or anything. It happened almost instantly.
Like they got home and they took a picture.
Yeah.
So Funko actually released a statement saying that they were going to track the person who purchased those down.
Exactly.
Remember that?
Well, apparently they were Funko employees. That was another thing that was being said.
That was a rumor. I don't know if it was actually confirmed.
Okay. Well, that whole thing that happened with those Funko Pops turned a lot of people off from Funko NFT, because a lot of us are wondering, well, if they're being sold there for $15, where are all of these Funko Pops that are not being redeemed? So when you have an NFT Funko Pop, it has a number listed on it. Like I know I have one around here somewhere. It'll have a number listed on it, like this Freddy Funko. So on this Freddy Funko, there's 2,500 pieces. Well, not all 2,500 are redeemed. And it was told to us by Drop themselves that they would destroy the Funko Pops that were not redeemed. That's the way it was told to us. We were also hearing that they wouldn't actually make the full amount. So in other words, they wouldn't make all 2,500. They would only make the amount that were redeemed. No answer about this. We have no clear answer. We would love a clear answer. So Funko or Drop, if you could give us a clear answer, we would absolutely love to know what that answer is. But how do these thermal Leonardos just show up to be sold? Obviously they weren't redeemed. Or the people who redeemed them needed to get them in hand, but Funko never shipped them, or maybe they got the damaged one. Like what? I don't know. I don't know what this is. Are they replacements for damaged ones?
Hold on. One thing I do need to mention is, because someone is going to correct you in the comments, those Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, that set was not on Drop. It was just Funko, remember?
Oh,
that was
right. Right. Oh, you're right. Yeah. Okay. Well, whatever the case may be, there still should be an answer there, because there was a limited number of these things.
Yeah, I don't think there ever will be. I don't think Funko will ever come out and just say, like, hey, this is what we do.
No, but that whole event at the Buckeye Warehouse was a disaster. Fights broke out there that first time. They had all these sales, and now apparently the Buckeye Warehouse is going to open like a storefront. Like that's going to become like a storefront for Funko products. I would imagine that it'll be like an overflow from their warehouse, and you might be able to go there and get some really cool things. But nowadays, I mean, when we talk about really cool things, what is really cool? You know what I mean? Like, who cares really that much anymore about a lot of this stuff? There used to be hype in it, but the hype is, like, gone. Yeah. Like, completely gone.
At least for us. I mean, I think it's because you and I take more notice than the average collector. Like, a lot of collectors will sit back and they'll see, oh, this is really cool. But maybe they haven't been collecting as long as we have, and they didn't get to see the true excitement that Funko brought, because we used to stand in lines with like many people.
Oh yeah.
Like for years.
Yeah, we were standing in
mean,
lines for all the convention exclusives.
Yep, or just a big drop in general.
Hot
like
Topic.
The Grady twins, it was rumored that the Grady twins were going to show up at Target on this one Saturday. So everybody flocked to Target. You stood in line for that.
Yeah.
I mean, it used to happen.
There's a lot of fun to be had, and that fun has been drained out. I would say this year specifically, things have been going downhill, but this year is really when things got pretty rough.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're right. I guess we do focus on a lot of this stuff more than the regular collector, but as somebody who's been around as long as we have, or as two people who have been around as long as we have, I don't think it's something that you can turn a blind eye on. Like, you're seeing this stuff happen. You're like, dude, I've been collecting this stuff, and I remember Grady twins and going out and trying to find it and going to Hot Topic and standing in lines, or going and waiting in line for San Diego Comic-Con at Barnes & Noble, right? These are all things that we've done. And to know all that fun stuff was happening and now is like a thing of the past. We're only talking about things that suck, specifically this video. The Fun Day stuff sucked. The whole Buckeye Warehouse thing sucked. There's a lot of sucky things, and we haven't gotten to the biggest sucky thing of the entire year.
I thought you already said that was the Fun Day.
No, one personally to my heart. I think that's the biggest one overall, maybe with a lot of fans. But there's one really big one that sucks big time. One that I think it actually hit me emotionally at the beginning of the year.
Okay.
Big time. It hit me big time. But we're going to wait and save that for a second video, because that video will come out tomorrow, and you're not going to want to miss that one, because we'll discuss the one that hit me directly in the feels. It hit me right in the feels. And that's the feels, very similar to my little nugs down there. You know what I'm saying? Same thing. Same feeling, same pain I get. Feels, nugs, same thing.
Question, when are these videos going to be released? Is this like a Christmas video?
Yeah.
Because I think for Christmas we should really be like...
Merry Christmas, everybody!
Wait, is this really our Christmas video?
Oh, no, part 2 will be our Christmas video. This is Christmas Eve!
We're releasing a video on Christmas Eve?
Yeah.
We don't release videos on Sundays.
But we are tomorrow. It's going to be fun. Yeah, we're recording this the day before Christmas Eve. But this is your gift from us. And then you'll have a Christmas gift on Christmas Day. And that'll be really exciting also.
Talking more crap about Funko. Buckle up, Buttercup.
But in every video, we like to shout out to our patrons from Patreon, because we love you so much and you guys are amazing. In this video, we would like to shout out to, I'll have to figure this one out, because Heather left off on our last list here, and I don't remember where we left off. Mikey Owens, Brandon Staton, David Chung, Nick Fillet, Elizabeth Orazon Wednesday, Tyler Vest, Dead Paul, Tasha White Barnes, Greg Malley, and Nelson Shaner. Thank you guys so much for your continued support. You guys are amazing. We love you, and we couldn't do everything that we do without you. And make sure you hit the subscribe button and the like button. That way you'll know anytime we go live or post brand new content. And that like button helps this video in a really big way. It gets out there a little bit more, so more people can find us. More Funko collectors, more collectors in general can actually find this video and watch it. So please smash the crap out of that like button. Also hit the little bell. That way you know when you can find a new video that we post. What do you think?
I like that.
That's pretty good, right?
I want to hear about what got Chris in the feels tomorrow, so make sure you do that.
Yeah, and check out our Patreon at patreon.com/Gastlecast to find out all the ways that you can support the channel, just like all the other lovely patrons that we talked about and listed right here. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, for staying until the end of the video, and thank you for enjoying the unedited content that we've been posting lately. We've been getting a lot of positive feedback, with a couple of people not liking them in between, but that's okay. But for now, we're going to continue with the unedited content, and we'll come back with edited content very soon, probably in the new year. Guys, thank you. We'll see you in the next one.
Bye.